Hey guys, welcome to Neat Movie News. My name is Dean Thomas, and we've got three big movies opening this weekend with Angry Birds, The Nice Guys, and the movie I just saw, Neighbors 2 Sorority Rising. Now, obviously, it's Neighbors 2, so it's a sequel, and I think as many of us know, comedy sequels aren't always the greatest. It's not often that a comedy sequel actually works very well. There's not a lot of them out there, and we could go into a whole bunch of reasons of why maybe that is. But I have to say, Neighbors 2 is a worthy comedy sequel. Now, I didn't see the first Neighbors originally until a couple months after it actually came out onto DVD and home video and all that. And it's been a while. It's probably been over a year since I saw it. And I remember laughing at that movie a fair amount. But this movie, I laughed a lot watching this movie. Now, the basic idea, if you've seen both the first one, you probably can kind of get an idea of what the second one is about. Basically, Seth Rogen and Rose Byrne's characters and their young daughter is probably about two. A sorority moves in next door, and as Seth Rogen's character and them are trying to sell their house, obviously a sorority moving in next door does not help anything with that. And so that's kind of where the basic story is. And for me, I laughed a lot during this movie, and the parts that were really, really funny and really worked for me was the dynamic between Seth Rogen, Rose Byrne, and Zac Efron, who actually works with Seth Rogen in this movie to help get rid of this sorority. And to me, it's their dynamic and the way they all play off each other and the way they're trying to bring the sorority down is the stuff that really works and is really, really funny. To me, in Neighbors, the fraternity at that time I thought was funny, but for me here, the sorority was not as good. For whatever reason, Chloe Grace Moretz, who kind of plays the main sorority girl, kind of annoyed me. And their whole thing is they want to start their own sorority to so they can party because as an actual law in the United States, sororities cannot throw parties, only fraternities can. And so the movie was actually using this kind of as a message to kind of say something about, this is kind of a double standard. It's kind of sexist in a way. And I thought that was a good message to send. I just found it kind of interesting that this movie also, as a backdrop of trying to, empower women, and a lot of it's like, you can do whatever you want, uses kind of these, to me, annoying, kind of whiny girls who then also their only reason for wanting to do anything is so they can party, drink, and smoke weed. So it's like, on one hand, you're sending a good message, on the other hand, you're sending a terrible message. So I thought that was kind of interesting. And while they were also breaking down stereotypes with sororities or trying to, empower women, they completely just trashed and went to the absolute full extent of stereotypes for fraternities and made them out to just be like rape dungeons, more or less, is honestly what they did. So I don't know, it was just a curious way of how they went about it. But the sorority themselves, the stuff with between the girls and stuff, I didn't find as entertaining. I thought it moved the story along, but that's not what I found funny. I found the interaction that the other characters had trying to go against the sorority as this big bad as the funny stuff, not necessarily what was happening within the sorority itself. And because I did laugh a lot during this movie, there's a few times where I thought they took a joke a little too far. They went a little gross out humor at times that really didn't feel necessary. But other than that, there's not too many other things. The movie is a little repetitive compared to the first one. I mean, the plot isn't too much different. But you get to see a little bit more of these characters, a different side of Zac Efron's character, who I think stole the show. He is the funniest part of this movie to me. The way they use him, and then the way Seth Rogen plays off of him, I think is really great. So I really enjoyed Neighbors 2, and I'm going to give it a 75%. I laughed a lot. There's some really big laughs. You'll get some just little chuckles out of it too. I mean, the plot's kind of, you know where it's going. I thought the sorority stuff wasn't the funniest to me. That's just me. But overall, I think the movie is worth seeing, and I think a lot of people will get a laugh out of it if you kind of like dirty, raunchy humor. Obviously, it's an R-rated comedy, so if you like that, I think you'd enjoy this movie. Let me know, guys, out of all those three movies opening this weekend, which one are you most excited to see, and which one are you going to see? And if you have seen Neighbors 2, let me know what you thought. Or if you've seen the original Neighbors, what did you think of that movie, and does it have you looking forward to this one? Make sure you check out our weekly show, the Neat Movie News Show, which goes up every Friday night. We've got a new episode coming out here soon, where you can catch up on all the week's latest movie news with me and a couple friends. And for all the latest up-to-date news, make sure to follow me on Twitter at Neat Movie News for the latest there. Thank you guys so much for listening, and we'll see you back here next time.